Okay, let's move on to the second topic of the night, which is Kanye Blexiting the Blexit movement. Just real good stuff this week. Kanye, finally, for some reason, was like, oh, wait, no, I don't mean anything that I've said for the last 3 months.
Well, he finally separated from it because he got pinned to some really whack art. That's all it was.
That's totally it.
It has nothing to do with politics. He's like, no, that shit's corny. I didn't do that.
Blexit, if you don't know, Blexit is like the sort of black Republican version of the walk away movement, which we've covered on the show. I feel like we should make that walk away episode available to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's a Patreon episode, right? Yeah. Blexit was started by Candace Owens, who's the TP USA talking head, their millennial black correspondent, who's just said awful shit in general.
Miserable things.
Yeah, and, she's sort of the reason that Kanye became political again, apparently. Like, his first foray into Republican politics was, I like the way Candace Owens thinks.
Yeah. Well, they kind of owe each other a lot of, he made her relevant for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she was doing her thing, but if Kanye West talks about anybody, they're going to get a little bit of a bump. And then, and then she woke him. She opened his eyes. She freed him from the shackles that are the Democratic Party.
Yeah, the Democratic plantation. Yeah, I mean, Kanye just said some totally awful shit, like slavery was a choice. I had a welfare mindset, even though we don't think he was ever on welfare.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure, but...
Pretty positive.
Talking about how black people are all gangbangers who shoot each other when he's, from the suburbs and shit.
Yeah.
Just really rotten stuff. Same thing that Candace Owens says, basically. But the Blexit movement is like a new wrinkle in this story. And, I mean, he posed with her with the Blexit t-shirts. She made statements that Kanye West designed this logo for them, which is great. They went on a trip to Africa in order to design this logo, which is really cool when you have to go to Africa to make a logo that looks like the sort of JCPenney store brand gym attire logo.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had this exact shirt from Esprit when I was 8 years old.
This is the shirt they would give you when you would do the jump rope-a-thons. I don't know what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about, the jump rope-a-thons. Yeah. Yeah,
this is like if anyone has a Health Point clinic in their area, this is what the H logo is, which is like somebody doing a jumping jack, basically. Yeah. It's the singular wireless logo. It's just every bad logo from the 90s.
It's a flop. It's real bad.
And that's finally what, like you said, turned Kanye West against her. Because, no, in fact, he had nothing to do with this logo, and he would like you to keep his name out of your mouth.
And what's funny is, she didn't even really say he, made the logo, right?
No, she did.
No, but doesn't she say he picks the colors?
She said he created the logo.
Oh, created the logo, yeah.
She said he created the logo.
The colors, yeah.
Yeah.
And he would never pick those colors. If you know Kanye West has a palette, and that's not it.
So she said that shit, and then he tweeted out, I've been used... I've been used to further political ideologies that I don't agree with. I'm actually totally in favor of the basic democratic platform.
Yeah.
Which is
basic.
Jobs and immigrant rights and
barely.
Gun control.
Kind of.
And what else did he say? Just basic boilerplate, progressive ideas.
Yeah, but just really into capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, but so are the Democrats.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, well, prison reform is
Yeah.
another one. Yeah, and okay, dude, cool. And then his conclusion was, I'm going to take a step back from politics.
Yeah, I'm no longer doing politics. It's funny because part of me wanted. I mean, I'm not gonna buy any Blexit gear, obviously, because I would be fronting. But I kind of like that they were doing this because before the only way to prove that you were like a black Trump supporter was to wear the hat, or get your own custom one made or whatever. You'd wear the hat. But now there's a new whole company that the money goes back to back to black. Like that's where the money goes, and that's good because I think you should support each other. But yeah, it's just terrible that they decided.
No, you should not support black Republicans.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
But black Republicans should support black Republicans.
Okay.
Black Republicans should not support just giving money to other white folks again. At least it's keeping it under the same umbrella. I like it.
I think we should make America Great Again Dr. Seuss hats and like do
Keep it within the rave community?
Do like a rave Blexit or something.
Yeah, sure.
Those would go over well, I think.
Okay.
There's definitely like a big swath of like Trump supporting within like the EDM community. Undoubtedly.
So Candace Owens' statement about this was about Kanye not wanting to have anything to do with Blexit was fucking hilarious. It's long, probably won't read most of it, but just the first part of it is great. Candace says, "Let me first say to those that have relished in my hurt and pain, if knowing that I bleed and that I hurt brings you comfort and celebration, then there is no question that you won last night."
All that happened was like your friend was like, "Yo, I didn't do that. Like, I'm not fucking with that."
Celebrate. Be comforted.
Bathe in my blood.
Now I just feel bad. Like we had like a whole little dance party earlier to celebrate Candace's pain.
Yeah.
But now that I know that she knows, I feel awkward about it.
We're really just kicking her while she's down.
I grew up in one of those storied, unstable homes. I experienced more hurt before I turned 10 years old than most will experience over a lifetime. Listening to music from Kanye West and Jay-Z is what I give credit to having kept my spirit alive on some of the worst days. It's a crazy thing to know that you wake up one day and someone whose words and lyrics literally kept your spirit alive is suddenly your friend. God is good.
What albums was she listening to? Because like I was listening to those same albums, and that's not at all the message I got. Nothing. What is she good out of that? What?
I don't know. Another good paragraph from this is I would like to also publicly apologize to President Trump, as I know that Kanye's tweets were rapidly misinterpreted as a shot to this administration. Yeah, you know how like Kanye said he was for everything Trump is like vehemently against? Like people seeking asylum?
No, I actually agree with this because like he never said I'm not with Trump.
He never said it, and he clarified that he never dropped Trump's name, but he also literally said I'm for all these things that Trump is against.
Yeah, but like we'll see, he didn't distance himself from him enough.
I'm not doing that to give him credit. I'm saying that like he positioned himself in opposition to some of the worst shit that Trump has done, which is like a last minute attempt to save his own face, which I don't care about at all. I don't think that makes up for anything. But it was definitely designed to distance himself from Trump.
But Trump would never take offense to that. Trump would never take offense to being like, hey, I don't like your policies. But he would be sad if Kanye was like, I don't like you.
I don't think he was trying to offend Trump. I think he definitely still wants to be Trump's friend.
Exactly.
I just think he was trying to regain some sort of reputation or clout within like, the black community or the liberal
Any
community
that's not that community.
Did you have something to say, Lee?
No, I mean, he did make it, you have to make it very specific that you don't say Trump, because that would be the one thing that Trump would care about, is if he got called out specifically.
Yeah, totally.
So even saying that you're against his platforms means nothing. I agree with Tony.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that part too. Where is the tweet where she says that the media tried to portray that she said that Kanye was responsible for it?
Even though she did say that? Somewhere in here, right?
Yeah, where is that? I never once said that Kanye designed the t-shirts for Blexit. This is a lie that seems to have made its way around the world. A lie I would like to again correct for the record. Kanye was completely right to feel used in that regard. And as I have done personally, I would like to publicly apologize to him for any undue stress or pain the effort to correct that rumor has caused him, his business relationships, or his family. He simply never designed them.
I think he retweeted him, right? Like he tweeted those things.
Direct statement from Candace Owens. Blexit is a renaissance, and I am blessed to say that this logo, these colors, were created by my dear friend and fellow superhero, Kanye West. Direct quote from Candace Owens.
Yeah. It is crazy how many people there are in that picture wearing the Blexit gear.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's like 40 people, but that's so many fucking people.
Okay, let's get to comments on this. Did we see this happening with Kanye? Because we've talked about Kanye a lot recently, unfortunately. I figured he would always back away from Trump at some point. Kanye's direct excuse was that he was used. If I would have been asked to predict how he would have stepped back from it, I feel like making himself the victim would have been a good guess.
Yeah.
As to his excuse for leaving Trump finally, or, you know, even if he didn't name him. I think it's very interesting that that's the path he chose. Oh, I've been used. Like, is he playing up his mental illness, or is he playing up his, like, earnestness to garner sympathy with whoever will give it to him?
It's real interesting. And I like how, because like you said, he's not saying that Trump used him. He's saying that the Blexit campaign used him.
He said, I've been used.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It's an open thing.
Yes, but I think he's only saying he's been used by the Blexit campaign.
What did the Blexit campaign say that he didn't say when he was right in front of Trump?
I really think it comes down to he wasn't getting paid for those shirts. I think it's that simple.
But his statement was, I've been used to further political ideologies that I don't agree with.
Yeah, which is what Blexit is, too. That's part of...
In what way? Like,
because Blexit specifically is that whole thing. Same things he's saying. Because he was saying, you know, the plantation, the Democratic Revolution. He was saying all that, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the foundation of Blexit, were his words and quote unquote his design. So I'm saying that's where I think he was being used. I don't think he thinks that Trump was using him at all, because all that Trump really did was have him at the White House one time and tweet at him a couple times. So I'm saying I really think he's just mad that he didn't get a check.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because that's what I'm trying to say. It's like he's still not like separating himself from the concept of MAGA.
But what's the ideology that he feels like he was used to that he doesn't support?
To sell the shirts. That's it. He was used to push this logo and to boost her, and he didn't want to do that. He would have done that on his own. Mm-hmm. You know, that's I think it's really all it is.
I thought it was really interesting. We talked about this just last week, I think, when we touched on Blexit or whatever. I thought it was interesting that he was taking a hard Republican stance with supporting Blexit, because Blexit, which is its own like Mad Magazine parody, like
absolutely.
like it is Blexit,
Yep.
you know, it's a literal movement to the Republican Party from the Democratic Party. That's what they're trying to do with it, at least. And I thought it was interesting that he would support, because he's been all about this. Like, I mean, it is very capitalist, it is very right wing, everything he's been saying, but it's also very like hippie and one love, free thought,
yeah,
generic, like centrist, not taking a stance. And so I thought it was very interesting that he would, lend his support, which he did.
Yeah.
He's not denying that because his story is that he hooked her up with the designer who made the logo. That designer didn't want their name on it, which fuck that designer.
Yeah.
Who's willing to do work for her without putting their name on it. And so she named him instead.
I mean, I don't blame that designer, but also fuck that designer.
Yeah, I mean, I won't judge, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. So I thought that was interesting, and now it's interesting that he's choosing to step back from it.
Hopefully he really does shut the fuck up, because that'd be nice.
Let's get into comments. So first comment I have here, very important one from a guy named Mark, whose name I blurred out because I used this comment to laugh with a lot of other people at. Mark posts a picture of Candace Owens, and says, "I'm a vanilla-faced white guy, but Candace can use me anytime."
Yep. God, everything about this comment.
Just getting real horny on Facebook. And Mark is like... Go ahead.
It's just the level of creepiness to it with the picture of it, with his profile picture, like staring into your soul, is just too much for me to handle right now.
Yeah, this is like a professional headshot that Mark got done after the divorce.
Yeah, no, this is his passport photo. Because if you to sum up who Mark is, he's a divorced expat who now lives in San Jose, Costa Rica.
Who just started on basic sex tourism, but got caught up in San Jose.
Just can't the air. Am
I in Costa Rica for business or pleasure? A little bit of both.
Have you met these people? Have you met these upper middle class white people who are like, I'm going to move to Costa Rica? I know several of them, and they are the worst people.
Yeah.
I just want us to open a B&B in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
What's that like to have that like casual thought and be able to go do it? Mark probably owns a pizza joint in Costa Rica.
We should say that this is a very good picture of Candace Owens.
It is. It is a fantastic picture of Candace Owens.
Yeah, she looks great.
I was saying the only reason why Candace Owens isn't considered like a Republican sex icon is because she takes all of her style tips from Condoleezza Rice, and that shit is boring as fuck. But this picture, she looks fierce.
I mean, you're saying she's not a Republican sex icon, but let's get to the next comment. Marty Pants says, Candace is stunningly beautiful in soul, intelligence, and appearance.
God, your intelligence is fucking beautiful.
I like that he added appearance at the end of there to clarify, also, she's stunningly beautiful also in her appearance.
She also looks nice.
I hope Kanye realizes and embraces again the cause of freedom of thought. You know that cause of freedom of thought? I love when you're like a definite ideology, when you definitely have like far right tendencies with this Trump administration, xenophobic, sort of predatory capitalist instincts, but you're framing it as freedom of thought because you can't stand by any of your actual convictions. I like that. Same thing as a free speech rally that Nazis hold on campus, as if that's going to confuse or fool anyone.
Their idea of freedom of thought is going to the rally and carrying the torch, but you're wearing pants without pleats. because you think outside the box.
Candace is an angel sent to emancipate a people who have truly been used by the progressives who lie that a government pittance of a handout is better than personal success and growth. This is like, I mean, we deal with it so much, so this is probably redundant for the listener. But I love how woke these people are. I love how woke these people think they are by just calling black people slaves over and over again.
All the time.
That is like somehow a woke stance to take.
Oh, yeah.
Black people need to just stop being on welfare all the time because I love them.
Yeah. I really love the imagery, too, of an angel being the one to emancipate the slaves. Even though we can go on about how Christianity was actually used to hold black people under the thumb for much longer after we were free. But that's a whole different episode.
I saw a really good tweet today that was Jesus hearing all of the prayers during the slavery era, and it was a clip of a rap video saying, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, and Marty Pants, to prove that he's not a racist, has his avatar as the first black president, the first real black president.
Fela Kuti?
No, the president from the series, the Fox television series 24.
Oh yeah, the Allstate guy.
The first real black president.
Real...
He's not against black president. He just wants them to be real,
Yeah.
like the one on 24.
Who actually got stuff
Right,
done.
he's somebody that Jack Bauer would respect.
Yeah, somebody who's okay with torture, like when it's necessary.
Yeah, when you only have 24 hours to get the job done.
I want to go to this one. This was the main reaction in like every single Facebook group about Kanye leaving the free northern states of the Republican Party and going back to the Democratic plantation.
Yeah.
Somebody posted this article this is like Trump Train or QAnon Patriots or Diamond and Silk Fan Club. One of these Facebook groups that I'm in, I don't remember which. But the headline is Kanye says he's been used and is distancing himself from politics. And the thumbnail for it is a picture of when he was like talking to TMZ
I think so.
Yeah, where he's wearing his MAGA hat.
It's literally either the TMZ or the White House interviews. It's one of the two.
It's one of those where like his eyes are like his pupils are extremely dilated and his eyes look kind of dead. And he's in the middle of saying something, but he's wearing his "Make America Great Again" hat. And Wayne Grace says to this headline, Kanye says he's been used and is distancing himself from politics. Wayne Grace says, no, he has a Trump hat on.
Look, it's right there. This is the live feed, right?
And Barbie Bunch Martin replies and says, yeah.
Yeah. Is that like a black hand waving?
Yeah, that's not an emoji. That signifies
their
that they're a new member to the group.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're like wave to him, say hi.
Do you get to like pick your shade of...
No, it's not up to them.
Okay.
I'm sure they still would have picked the black hand, though.
Real quick aside, somebody recently texted me like a black hand emoji, like the darkest black, and this person was not black, and I was kind of like offended for a minute. But then I realized that the character they were referencing, that they were saying they were being, was like a zombie, like a dead person. So they were saying it was like a ghoulish hand, which is like more racist, but more harmless because they just weren't thinking about it, I don't think. I got it, and I was like, "Oh, interesting choice of okay." Yeah, then I realized you're saying it was dead.
That's funny because I have a theory about the overlap between people who have Zombie Hunter Squad stickers and Blue Lives Matter stickers on the back of their car.
Oh yeah.
Just fantasize about shooting roving gangs of people in the street, you know.
But just one puts a nicer layer over it because we all want to kill zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was the overwhelming response to this news of Kanye distancing himself from politics and the Blexit movement or whatever. Was no, fake news. Fake news, fake news, fake news. It's fake. You're fake. You're a fucking Democrat for posting this fake link in our group. I don't like it. It's fake. And I mean, I could have pulled literally 100 examples, but it's not worth going. It's not worth reading 100 comments that just say fake.
One of my favorite things is that earlier when the hat first happened, people were like, oh, cool, but like it's just a hat, like chill, it's just a hat, is what people who were kind of defending him were saying. But now they're like, no, he's wearing the hat. The hat's political now.
Yeah,
the hat's definitely political now.
And another common response to this was, no, Kanye's a free thinker, so we should allow him to change his mind on this. Which is them trying to be like the bigger person or trying to like own the libs by being more tolerant of him. But the whole point of Kanye becoming a Republican, the reason he was so lauded and celebrated by the right wing is because he finally was thinking for himself.
Yeah. He's
one of the good ones. He's one of the awake African Americans.
Yeah.
He stepped away from the plantation. So now that he is going back there to this plantation of agreeing that asylum seekers have rights, now that he's going back to that plantation, I'm forced to admit that this is a conscious thought because every one of my previous statements hinges on him being a conscious person.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised by this. He did say previously that slavery is a choice, and he's choosing to go back.
Okay, that's a good point. So he's like the guy in the Matrix who chooses to get reinserted so that he can eat steak again. Yeah. Okay. Next comment. Bonnie Whiteside Huxley. Here's a comment from the wider side of things. Says, Mr. Kanye West, I had an insurance company post my picture on their ad without my permission. When I confronted them, they said they had bought it and had all rights from Getty Images. They also gave me a name and phone number. I am not famous as you are, but I don't like to be taken advantage of. However, I guess this is the world we live in now. I am not liking it a bit. Hope it changes soon.
This is addressed to Kanye.
Yep.
As if Kanye's ever going to see this, or as if he posted this story himself, or belongs to this group, or is even on Facebook. Kanye has to have a secret Facebook page.
Kanye's totally Facebook. Yeah, all the shit he's been saying is super Facebook.
Yeah, he has to have a secret Facebook page.
Maybe he just has like a TPUSA premium account.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I love this. I can identify with your predicament, Mr. Kanye.
Yeah. One time my Getty Images image was used, and I saw it.
Amazing. Jonathan M. says to Kanye, make up your mind. Are you with on the Democrat plantation, or are you a free man?
Are you a free man?
So do you believe what we believe, or are you a slave?
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Those are the only options.
I'm kind of glad like Harry Potter worship is mostly a liberal thing.
Oh, yep.
Because if the Republicans had sort of the like Harry Potter brainworms that liberal millennials had, there would have been a dozen memes that were Kanye West as Dobby saying, Kanye is a free man, Harry Potter. As soon as he started siding with Trump.
I was just hoping you weren't going to start calling people mudbloods.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like Blaze Zabini is a black pureblood. Okay.
I would like to watch
what?
I would like to watch a Harry Potter movie where they just bleep out Muggle every time in Mudblood, and it would just sound real abrasive.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that they don't bleep it is a real brave choice, I think.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Integrity.
Yeah, I love this. Like, make up your mind. Are you a slave or do you think what I think?
Yeah.
Stop Lib Tyranny 895 with the big brain take on Fox News says, the folks who bought and shipped the slaves here to the USA were Democrats. They then fought against giving slaves freedom, and now they continue to fight to keep the slave descendants on their plantations.
Fuck.
Like, we're not exaggerating when they think that calling black people slaves is woke.
Yeah, no. And I think this is the same thing too, where they have no clue how timelines work. They think that just because, like, you know, the Ku Klux Klan was founded by Democrats, and, you know, Democrats used to be the conservatives, you
Plus, like, the Nazis were Democrats.
then so that means that they also got the slaves.
Yeah.
It's like the kid in my class who was confused why we had photos of the Civil War but no photos of Jesus.
No.
Yeah. So
Did that really happen?
Oh, that really happened. Yeah. I used to teach catechism way back in the day. These kids were 14.
Wow.
Wait, why do we have pictures of the Civil War but no photos of Jesus? No, they said, why don't we have pictures of Jesus? I said, well, we didn't have cameras yet. And they said, but we have pictures of the Civil War.
Yeah, that's like out of your pure purview. Like,
That timelines don't mean anything to people.
Yeah.
Like that. They have no grasp of history.
the folks who enslaved the Jews in ancient Egypt, Democrats.
Yep. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
No, it's just you work backwards. It's just who were the bad people? The Democrats.
The Democrats, yeah.
Of course. This is the upper limits of my political understanding of things. I think this might be the final comment. Yeah, just Joshin says about Kanye, he can't take the flack that us Republicans deal with on a daily basis. And it is daily.
Yeah, I bet you do get a lot of flack. I'm guessing your name is Josh and
Yeah, I feel like just Joshin has like a real tragic life.
yeah. To the point where he's the one Josh that embraces the term Joshin. Because you know if you tell someone named Josh that you're just Josh and they're going to be like, oh, ha, ha. Very funny, motherfucker.
It's bleak. It's all he has.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's daily.
yeah, he's saying that Kanye had to back away because he was getting too much heat for being a Republican, which is like what these folks go through all the time.
And just Joshin, who does not have a profile pic or a real name, takes it on the chin every day.
That's right. It's a heavy burden.
So it's a heavy burden knowing that you have the presidency and the judiciary and both houses of Congress, and you're definitely going to win that red wave in November.
For sure.
All worth it, though.
And you're going to forget that red wave in tomorrow? Because that's when they'll be hearing it.
Oh, yeah. Please vote.
Yeah, so let's end this episode by saying vote yes if you're in California. Vote yes on Prop 10.
Absolutely.
It's the literal first step in getting rent control to California. California has an extreme housing problem. It is very expensive to live here. And Prop 10 literally just allows for rent control. It doesn't actually create rent control.
It doesn't mandate it. It doesn't create it. It just gives us the option.
Right, because as of right now, there's like some sort of constitutional amendment or some sort of law on the books that prevents rent control from being legal in the state of California. So voting yes on Prop 10 is just the first step in creating affordable prices for California renters.
If you're at all confused about this proposition, if you've heard some weird misinformation about how it's going to create more homelessness, remember, the only people who really don't want this to go through are real estate agents and landlords.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Developers.
And, like, fuck them.
You know, like every villain of every 80s movie?
Yeah.
Like, you could, like, pants them by voting yes on Prop 10.
Exactly. Like, this is basically like Goonies, except for, you know, you don't have to go find a treasure. You just got to vote no on. You just got to vote yes on 10.
Yeah.
We're going to edit that so I don't confuse people.
Yes on 10.
Yes on 10.
The treasure we find is renters' rights.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the friendship and bonds we build.
No, I'm talking about material conditions.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. Also, shout out, let's see if I can find it here. Shout out to the girl who scammed a bunch of MAGA chuds by saying that she was a black Republican and her parents were not paying for her college for being a Republican.
Yeah. She's wearing some, like, ill-ass MAGA bucket hat in the picture.
Yeah, it's pretty great. She started a GoFundMe. Go to our Facebook page to look at this, but it's a series of tweets. And the first one says, I will not hide any longer. The left has made us feel as if black Republicans should hide, but not anymore. Hashtag blacks for Trump. Hashtag walk away. Hashtag MAGA. And then she said, thank you all so much for your overwhelming support. After seeing this tweet, my parents cut me off and refused to pay my university tuition. So if you can find it in your hearts to help this young black Republican pay for school, it would be appreciated. American flag emoji. GoFundMe account. And then she proceeds to get sort of outed by other people and just does a real good job on here.
Really nailed it.
And I don't know if she gets, like, sued or if GoFundMe, like, you know, if she gets sued for fraud or whatever, maybe we'll start raising money for her.
Yeah.
This is good. This is something we've said for a long time on this show about the walk away movement.
Yep.
And about sort of like minority Republican spokespersons.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty easy grift if you wanted to do it. I think her only mistake is, like, admitting to it.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that I started doing this podcast before, like, I really wanted the idea to happen, because I'd be exposed too easily now.
Yeah. Like, all you would have to do is just say hashtag MAGA and then, like, not make any waves for, I don't know, 6 months or a year, and you could just keep all the money and never have to.
That's it, yeah.
Never have to, like, actually do anything. But shout out to her. Believe that's it. Did you have anything you wanted to add at the end of this episode, Lee?
Nope.
All right. Thanks so much for doing it, though. We loved having you here.
You guys are probably hearing
thanks
us.
for having me.
You guys are probably hearing us on the 5th. Voting is on the 6th. Get out there and do it. And just, like, just do it. It's not that bad.
Voting is literally the least you can do. There's a sort of ethos that I heard from somebody else that really sort of summarizes how I feel about voting. A lot of people will say that voting doesn't change anything. Voting is a waste of time. I firmly believe that voting should always be strategic. Mm-hmm. When it comes election day, you literally do only have the two choices that you're presented with, whether it's yes or no, whether it's the Democrat or the Republican. The vote you cast in that specific instance should always be strategic. It should always be against the farther right candidate, if you want to frame it that way. And everything in between these elections, that's where you put your idealism. That's where you put your hope for a better future. That's where you put your energy. Election day is not the day for idealism. It's the least you can do is to vote. And everything else in between these election days carries much more significance. The organizing we do with each other, the organizing we do across our communities is much more valuable, and it doesn't take any time to vote. If you are able to, just do it and continue the work that you're hopefully doing the rest of the year.
Yep.
That's it.
And if you're able to help out somebody else, give someone a ride, watch somebody's kids, cover a shift.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, that's it for the episode. Happy Election Day, everybody. Happy Blexit Day. Whether you're Blexiting the Democratic Party or the Blexit movement itself, we support you. And write to us at miniondeathcult@gmail.com. Watch this on YouTube at youtube.com/miniondeathcult. Rate and review the show if you haven't done so already on your podcast app. It really helps us look cool. Thank you to everybody who's done so. And I believe that's it.
Yep. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.